Whoa! Howdy doody folks, and welcome to Mower Mike's Garage. I'm excited about this video because this is the video that's going to apply to anybody watching the lawnmower YouTube video. Yes, we're going to talk about today how to properly lift your lawnmower safely and efficiently where you can still work on said lawnmower. Now, everybody's going to need to do this no matter what you're doing on a lawnmower, whether you're sharpening the blades, changing the blades, doing deck work, pulleys, changing oil, pulling engines, whatever you're doing, most likely you're going to have to lift this sucker at some point. And lifting lawnmowers, riding lawnmowers can be a tricky business, especially when it comes to these Zeroturns, because first of all, they're very skinny. It's not like a car where you have a lot of room to do different lifting options. No, you ain't got much. You got 3 feet here. Also, they're heavy, they're awkward, they move around a lot. They have blades underneath them, and you can easily smash your face into a pancake, slice your nose off, slice your throat. All sorts of weird stuff can happen when you're working underneath the lawnmower. Trust me, I've had quite a few close calls. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk through different methods. We're gonna start with the most basic, cheapest methods, and then we're gonna move up to what I suggest in a preferred method that has blown my mind. Now, the most basic method, which, Dr. Bob believes in this method. You find a stump, you lift said lawnmower up, slide the stump underneath, there you go, the sucker's lifted. Now, you can do it this way, trust me, you can do it this way. But I do not suggest it for several reasons. First of all, you can hurt your back. Second of all, you gotta get the sucker pretty high up. You've gotta find a log the right height. But if you're gonna do it, please folks, if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna do the log method, get other smaller logs to shove underneath the back tires, or get yourself some wheel chocks. Wheel chocks slide underneath the back end of the tire, like so. That way at least it does not move. You don't smash your face, and also find a good log. Now, then you gotta get it out from underneath. Oh my gosh. That is just, I don't suggest it, but hey, whatever, I can't stop you. The next method, which is actually a pretty cool method. If you have a sturdy tree, let's say you're a real shade tree mechanic, a winch, the Warren wrench, this thing is awesome. It does 1,000-pound capacity, and I suggest a winch all day long. But don't be winching the stuff to the shop ceiling. I don't want you to cave in a whole ceiling on you. But it is a cool method. I've got a whole video on winching lawnmowers in the air, and it works pretty damn good. All right, next method, what do we got? We got ourselves automotive ramps. Idea is slide the ramp down, push ride lawnmower up the ramp. Now, can you do this? Yes. But is this a good idea? No, for several reasons. First of all, it can slide back down the ramp. Second of all, you gotta push the lawnmower up the ramp because your lawnmower is probably not running if you're working on it, and that could be quite a task. But the most important thing is, this lawnmower ain't very big. Lawnmowers are 3 to 4 feet wide, 2 feet wide. When you put 1-foot ramps on each side, it's not gonna leave you much room underneath the lawnmower to work on the lawnmower. But if you wanna do it, just again, make sure you use wheel chocks. All right, now let's come to the most common method that my viewers are probably using to use their lawnmower. You take a jack, an automotive jack. Maybe you got a bottle jack. That's always a really crappy jack to use that most people are using. Maybe you're grabbing something out of your truck, the little tiny crappy ones, a screw jack, and you're jacking these things up. You're gonna jack up the front end of the lawnmower, like so. You're using one jack point, and folks, please, don't do this. If you have any other option, do not do this, because this is very dangerous for several reasons. The jack could tip over. A lot of times you're leaning on the lawnmower. It could slide off the jack. I mean, a lot of bad stuff could happen. I think I just broke something back there. I was actually using this method last week shooting a video, and what I was doing, I was leaning on the front of the lawnmower, and I thought this awesome Summit Racing 3-ton jack wouldn't have any problems, but folks, it almost fell on my face. Watch this. Now, usually I just use an air ratchet on this thing and just use air ratchet torque, and I've never had an issue, but this time I'm actually gonna torque it down. I Googled online, it looks like most of the, oh my gosh, my whole lawnmower fell off the lift. I am okay, folks, so let me reset. Yep, now that's live action for you right there, folks. All right, so Again, I've been shooting hundreds of videos, jacking up lawnmowers all these different ways. And finally I was like, there's gotta be a better method to lift a lawnmower. So I started Googling lawnmower lift, and hot damn, if I didn't find a lift on the Amazon that is specific to lifting lawnmowers. I was blown away. I was like, what is this contraption? And folks, I've been using this thing for about a week. I'm never lifting a lawnmower another way again. So let's go ahead and zoom in on this sucker. I'm gonna go through the mechanics of it, and then I'm gonna show you a live lift right here in the shop. Yes, sir. Stay with me. All right, folks, let's get a good look at this awesome lift. Now, first of all, this is the Pro Lift 500-pound heavy-duty mower lift, and surprisingly enough, this is the cheapest mower lift on Amazon. Yes, it's $175 to your door. I'll put an Amazon link down below if you want to get your own, but I was like, whoa, this thing is a heavy duty. It's actually cheaper than the lighter duty 250 or 300-pound version, so I was all in. So let's go through how this sucker is built. First of all, you're gonna have your wheel cradles right here. The thing you're gonna notice, first of all, they fit on there weird. They fit on there at an angle, but it's actually awesome. So it's angled like this, so that way the lip right here is as small as possible. And this is going to fit pretty much any riding lawnmower wheel. Now, if you have a smaller mower, let's say like you've got the Forrest Gump old snapper version with little tiny tires, you've got this pin right here that'll slide through here, and that way you can fit a smaller riding lawnmower wheel, but most of them you're going to pull that pin out. And you're going to see it's got an angle on it, a really funky angle on these wheel cradles. Now, you're going to see in a minute, there is a purpose to this angle. It took me forever. I thought, I was like, man, this thing ain't built right. I'm going to have to return it. But no, it's a game of angles, folks. That's just life. And you're going to see why they're at an angle in a minute. It's got some steel casters on it. You got your lift version. So let's go down over here. Now, what you got, you essentially got a bottle jack right here, and it's connected through a pin to this. And so this is what you turn it to the right to lock that jack in, to allow it to jack, and then you turn it to the left to release it. So when you jack it up, it lifts that, and as it lifts up this, it angles, and then it lifts the actual jack. So it's just bolted right there. Very, very simple design, and as you lift it, you're gonna see these two red things right here. And the higher it goes, it falls into one of these slots. What that is, that's a lock. It's like a safety lock. That way it won't slide down any further than you need to. And when you release the jack, I love it. You actually just hit it with your hand, pull it up, because unless you actually release the safety lever, it will not release. And going through here, I love the handle on this thing. Most of these don't have these cool handles, but the handle locks in here. It's got a grip on it, and that way you can kind of move this sucker around the shop, or even with a lawnmower on it, but be careful, as you're gonna see in a minute. So that's the build of the jack. Again, I'll put a link down below, but let's go ahead and see this sucker in action and actually lift this little green wiggly sucker. Stay with me. All right, folks, let's go ahead and lift this lawnmower up. Now, a small Zeroturn like this is actually the most dangerous lawnmower to lift, because a lot of times you'll be jacking up the rear end of it, and because these front wheels, they pivot back and forth super easy because it's a Zeroturn lawnmower, there's no way to like put proper wheel chocks on the front wheels, and it can be very, very dangerous. That's why I love this thing, because it puts these wheels in its own little home and it keeps them nice and tight. So the first thing you do, you line the sucker up, and then you just pull it up on there like so, which is super easy on this lift because it's got that angled front end on it. Anybody could pull the lawnmower up on the lift, ain't no big deal. And then you just pump her up, folks. Well, you gotta turn your knob first to lock it. And look at that. And as you pump it up, I love it. I thought it was kind of weird how those things are tilted at first, but they start rotating in. And look at that. And it is locked right here. Your wheels are not moving at all. You can put wheel chocks underneath the rear end just for safety, but I don't think you have to. It also, what's super cool, look at this. Oh, don't do that. You can move it back and forth a little bit, but be careful with that because obviously it can fall off. So folks, again, I think this is a fantastic method of lifting a lawnmower. As you can see, This one here is a 500-pound lift. There's other ones out there that don't lift quite as much, which I've had the cheaper ones. You can't beat this one. 500 pounds, you can lift the front end, the back end, you can lift anything you want. You probably lift a motorcycle, cow, anything. So I'll put links down below to this specific lift. It was like 170 bucks. It took a little bit to get to my door off Amazon, but this is my preferred method for going forward for a lift. So with that, I'm out of here. I'm gonna work on this lawnmower, get her sold, and we're gonna do something else next week. Mower Mike's out.